Arcade Gaming. Today we are playing Outlanders. Now, I've already got about 4 missions in on this game. Really enjoy it. So we're going to go through it again. Again for me, not for you, hopefully. But yeah, really good game. Really enjoy it. So, 3 employees are unemployed. Right, I'm going to road through there. Across to there. Yes, build a road. So, forager's hut. Add another worker. Let's get 4 workers in there. Okay. Build some more road as well. No. Okay. I'd like to build another 2 if it'll drag it. Yes. Right, so the idea of this game is to be able to sustain a village, achieve your objective, which in this case is 10 followers don't have a home. I'll be on here somewhere. Or not. Be something about building houses, I'm sure. Sure, my objective's supposed to be somewhere. 10 followers don't have a home. Right, what resources do we have? So we can go on there and see what resources we have available. You are always able to build somewhere in here a lumberjack's base, which you can assign 2 people to. It's free to build, and then that way gets you to sustain cutting down wood if you've somehow spent everything and made a bit of a mess of it. Right, so I'm going to build our first modest home and just build it there. Cost 6 wood. So, forager's hut for food. You need to make sure everyone's got food to eat. Think. Yeah, we'll keep that going. Oh wow, that's a big zoom out. So hopefully this is coming across really smooth. Again, hopefully the audio is really good. If I haven't mentioned it a million times, new microphone. So hopefully it sounds a lot better. So you'll see they'll come take pieces of wood, drag it across, and then they'll start building it. And what we can do as well is speed up. So it'll go ×5, and when it goes overnight it'll speed up even more, just so that it'll build quicker. Also, when it's night time, folks just go to sleep, usually on the floor, as you're about to watch. See, look at these crazy mofos just laying down on the floor. Honestly, look at him. Apart from the mayor, who does his own thing and has a surprisingly nice house where everyone else is homeless. So, good guy. There we go, got a house. What we need to do now is go build some lumberjack bases. So I particularly like things like that. Yes. Prioritize that. So as long as people are fed, I think they'll be happy. You'll see as well we've got children. In the top right corner it gives us a list of what we've got. So we've got adults, we've got children, and we've got homes. So the amount of, we've only got housing for 4 people. We have 10 people so far. So we need to create another 2 more of these modest houses. Right, lungerbacks. Lumberjacks. So we don't really need any builders at the minute. However, what we do need is some lumberjacks. Helen, go become a lumberjack. Because, as you can see, we've got plenty food. What we really need is wood. I really wish that I could just scroll with 2 fingers on here. So I'm using just a MacBook Pro. It's a 2016 touch bar model, 15 inch. with a well, with the trackpad. No, nothing special with it, nothing crazy. And just plug this mic into it, and that's about all I have to record anything on here. Probably hear my cat using a scratch post in the background. Well, it sounds like wood being chopped, so hopefully that blends in okay. I mean, it's a fairly slow game. See, when a tree is chopped, I will get my words right. When a tree is chopped down, God, then it leaves behind like a stockpile. Let's zoom in. So it leaves behind that stockpile. They will work on it. They will take that stockpile and add it to their collection, and then you can go build more houses, which in this case we can line this up straight away. See, build a modest house. No, not there, because clearly that's not a good place to put it. That's not a great place to put it either, but still, we'll do it. So as wood is collected, it will be placed down there, and when she gets enough, she'll build a house. Or he, whoever is working there. Alice, she. Well done. Well done, my memory. And we'll just skip forward. And as you'll see, it'll get to a certain point, it'll just go times 20. There you go. So that's without having to touch anything. It just gets to a certain point and it knows that then it's time. So, main things to keep an eye on when you're building up your populace. You can see here we've got a stockpile. It's making sure you've got food. Obviously when you're foraging, you forage mushrooms. Tomatoes comes in later on when you have farms. So if you don't have any farms, then you can't really make tomatoes or stock tomatoes. Later on, it becomes they have one of the levels, and you're basically building 3 farms. So you have to survive on mushrooms long enough to be able to get enough tomatoes in place to then feed the populace. Because you do run out of mushrooms, and mushrooms take a long time to grow back. And if you chop down all the woodland, I do believe they do not grow back. Yes. Also, when you press this, you can see all the mushrooms highlighted nicely. Same with the cross here, all highlighted. And if you went to the lumberjacks forest, you can see how many trees are highlighted in the area. A lumberjack's base, it's got quite a small area to actually chop down trees. So once that's done, what we'll end up doing, Fred, you're unemployed, go work at the forager's hut. So now he'll go foraging. Or I can say to him, Fred, you're unemployed, go work at the builder's house, because we need buildings built. You can also, say for instance, eventually these folks here, the grown-ups, will have children, and eventually those children will grow up and be workers. So what you can do is already pre-assign what your workers are doing. Now they can become dissatisfied over time. That's if they're unemployed, if they're living outdoors, if they're not being well fed. All these things come into play when it comes to the happiness of your village. So speed it up, get to daylight again. Leave some comments as well, just as to how this is coming across on the microphone, because I'm only playing it back through things like the iPad and stuff. So if it sounds good and you're enjoying it, then let me know. And leave a like whilst we're here, waiting for the night to come past. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. This isn't the end of the episode. I could play this game for a very long time. I love it. It's one of my favourite games on this channel. Of all the Apple Arcade games, I just like building bases, and suits me down. Right, so that's everyone populated. Right. What was the goal? Usually it'll be somewhere where we're building. I'll have something on there. We've got sawmills. Do we have an objective list? Pause. Happiness. Mission. Stock 40 planks in less than 29 days. Optional, all of your followers are settled. Okay, so we've got 2 spaces for houses there. And how much wood do we have? If we zoom in, I thought we didn't even need to. We have 3. So we can utilise those 3 to build a lumberjack cabin. We need 6, so we're just gonna knock that down there. Yep. Prioritise. Not that there's anything else they're gonna build. Can't remember if you can. Oh, you can destroy them. Yes, we do not require it. Okay, so slow that down. Add worker. Take workers off. We'll add a worker position available. I do believe on this one we should have enough. Let me just collect my words together. We should have enough on this to be able, or enough time on this to be able to see children grow up into adults. And probably see adults create more children. Which, let's not get into that. So they're going to create some wood. I'm going to say, do we want a lumberjack's cabin or do we just want to go to a sawmill? No, we'll you can see the range difference. So straight away, you create that. You're chopping down trees. You are yes. You are chopping down a lot of trees. Here's your stockpile as well. You can increase your stockpile, which you can also build several of them. So, say for instance, you just want a little stockpile there. You can create a stockpile there. And so, these folks over on the right won't have to travel too far to be able to, you know, put down their wood. So it's more efficient. So we'll speed it up. And what you'll notice is they'll place their wood down there from this particular house, which will then go there. So we've got 2 trees left. It's a very sensitive microphone this. You can hear anything from cars in the distance to probably me glugging a drink, so I'll try and move out of the way out of it. So whilst they're building that, what we're going to do is also tell them that we need a sawmill. We'll put it right near there. Huh. Is that not the correct place? So apparently we need a lot of space for it. However, we won't build it there. Then I like to just put a road to everything, otherwise they're walking out on the well, out in the open. They don't tend to like that. They'll make some use of that additional space as well. I'll just put a little stockpile there. Don't have to, but it's kind of nice. Right then. John out of the forester's hut. Take Fred out of the lumberjack's base, because they've only got one tree left. Hey, a baby was born, there you go. So, now there's a baby. Oh, and you can oddly follow everyone, which isn't weird and stalkery at all. So we'll slow everything down. Probably want to make sure that we have another worker, which... Right. Once that's empty, we'll make sure that's no longer utilised. So you can see here, if you have a good look, sorry, the further away I get from the mic, the, I guess, higher pitch my voice gets. So, if we look at the stock, we have lots of mushrooms, lots of tomatoes, we've got lots of food for everyone. So it's a case of prioritising your workers at that point. You can see, everyone's pretty happy, we're at 94%, which is fairly good, funnily enough. So when these kids grow up, they'll have options as to where to go to. But when this is built, when the sawmill's built, then you want to move everyone out of the minor positions that aren't necessarily needed. So cut down your woodcutters down to 1 in this case, because we just want to rush through and... Oh wow, they are devouring trees. Tell you what, you do not have a position available. You do not have a position available. But you do. And at the minute, we're not in great need for wood. In fact, we have a lot of wood. We have enough wood to make everything that we need to make. So, no matter worker. There is no wood in the area. Kid grew into an adult, and then someone is unemployed. Well, that's great, because when this thing gets built, we're going to have job opportunities. You can, I do believe, assign 3 people to it, and every piece of wood creates 2 planks, I think. We're about to see. Right then. Add workers. Guess what they're doing? So you'll see this person doesn't really have anything to forage at the minute. And she gets a bit to forage. So what we'll do is we'll move them out so they can go there. Sometimes you have to build a forager's hut a little bit further out, so you might build a forager's hut here, create a road, they'll add to a stockpile, there's more food available. As you can see, we're actually running low on food. So what we'll do, just to show that example in work, we will build that there. We still have 1 builder that is able to do their jobs. We'll create a road. So some things on this game are free, roads are free, stockpiles are free, lumber huts are free. I don't think we're going to run out of food before we create this. Let me know if you can hear cars driving past as well. I'll try and keep an eye out on it. And I'm not in a recording booth. This isn't a booth. This is just sat down at a desk. So if it sounds terrible, do let me know. I'll figure something out. But from what I can hear over the microphones, it sounds okay. So as you get more workers, you can see here, we can add workers to there. And you'll find, like for instance, this is now running out of mushrooms that they can possibly get, so we need to make sure that they have jobs, otherwise people sit about idle. So you're constantly reprioritising people and make sure everyone that needs to work is working. And now we're up to 97%, which isn't too bad. How many planks are we at? 11 planks. Did that say make 40 planks in less than 29 days? I think we're on that schedule. Everyone's working. Okay, I'll create positions. So now we have a job for I want to create a modest home, and we want to prioritise it as well. So what we shall do is create a couple of working slots there. We still want to be able to make planks. So we'll just make sure that they can create that little home. And then once that's built, we'll get those worker positions back in. So you can see we're really running low on mushrooms now. So everyone tends to eat at night. They'll have that home built up very quickly because we're on speed up. And we shall get rid of Fred. So now Fred will either become a lumberjack or a forager even. So everyone's housed. There you go, Fred's gone back to work at the mill. The fun life of Fred. Started off as a meagre wood chopper. Now he's a saw miller. So there's a constant balance. The bigger your housing gets, the more you have to start looking out and compose myself. So the bigger your population gets, the more food they eat, and the harder you have to work to create them food. I do believe that is 20. Oh, we need 40. Okay. Thought that was too easy. So as you can see, as they're chopping away, the mushrooms don't regrow back. So you do have to make sure that you keep foraging in one area, and that, I mean, even here, you can see they will eventually run out of things to forage from. Thankfully, there's loads down here. But you can't cut down all the wood and then not have enough food to be able to feed everyone with. So, got to prioritise everything. So now everything's on the up and up. Hey, there you go. And that's how you do that. So, I hope you've really enjoyed this episode. This is one of my favourite games on Apple Arcade. And if you liked it, leave a like. If you enjoyed the videos and more of my videos, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be notified of when a new video uploads, because they are sporadic, I'm fairly busy, and when I do find time, which I'm now trying to do, then I'll release them. But then you'll be notified when they come. So, thanks for watching. All the best. Ciao for now.